Hey guys, how's it going? I took the last half of yesterday, taking everything out of this and kind of cleaning it out and doing a vacuum and rodent removal and everything else that kind of pertains to a car that's been sitting for 40 years. Then was able to kind of walk around and assess what I got, and it hasn't improved any more over time since the last time I looked at it. But I figured I'd grab the camera now and we'll buzz around it and kind of, I'll show you what I got. Here's the seats that came out of it. And you can kind of see the backside's all packed with rodent improvements. There's a bag down there, it's all full of the same. Still got a couple more nests inside it yet. It had not one but two mats on the floor in the front. So when the hole started getting too big, you started slipping through, they just threw another mat on it. I was able to knock down this gate, get it sort of flip over. The other ones are kind of iffy. I don't want to play with them until I'm ready to, because there's all the hinge points and stuff I want to rip out. But everything on it is definitely going to need a lot of love. You can kind of see the bottom of the gates there are just so mushy. So we can get rid of the flashlight. You could work that with your fingers. You could just push right through it. So even though you're seeing something there, there's still nothing there. That whole thing's gone. Kind of my assessment is the way these things fail over time is there's an upper and a lower level. They kind of look the same kind of corrugated material. On the top, what they had when they were new, I believe, was like these wood strips that kind of went across it. So if you slid something on it, you would kind of slide on the wood and you wouldn't be rubbing on the metal. And of course, they ran them down with screws. And you see them all. And of course, the wood fails over time and it leaves a hole. Right, this thing's out to the weather, so the weather gets in it, and the hole is even lower than the, it's the lowest point on the whole thing, so it goes right out. It's not even like it's attached to the high point, so that floods out the bottom section, and then the bottom section goes away. Look how bad that back wall is. How much lumber and stuff do you think was thrown inside this truck? Ripped right out of the bottom there. You can see daylight right across it. So you can look over there, you can see the bottom of that gate's just gone. That hinge isn't even in there. So I want to use this thing for like a yard sale truck, picking up power equipment, that kind of thing, and then a toy for taking to shows and putting the bikes on the back of it. You can see how when the gate was down where the paint ran, and made a turn, must have rolled over, and came spilling out the back, paint pouring out of it. If you look closely, you can see the paint back here matching up to the paint here. I want to try to maintain all that as much as possible. I want it to look and show its life that it's had, within reason. But of course, you can see I'm going to have to cut all this out of here to repair it. At least come to here to good metal again, or replace this whole box section in right there. So my envisionment is at some point there's going to be a winch in the back of it right there. Actually underneath, and I'll run a fair lead up through the middle of it there. All this decking I think is pretty much shot. I think it kind of looks okay. I could have patched it here and there, but I think for the betterment of the whole thing, I'm probably going to be better just cutting it right off, and that way I can access the repair parts down below that much easier. For whatever I'm saving. If I tried to maintain this, although it looks cool, but I just don't think it's going to hold up over time. It's just there's too many areas that are just gone, and to try to repair, like if I want to come to here to repair this section, you can use this hole for example. If I come back here, I find good metal. Just the fact of trying to find pieces that are going to go from there to a flat surface again, and trying to make them and everything, just not worth it. So. I don't mind adding. I don't care if this thing is 300 pounds heavier than it was when it's new. That's, you know, it's not that big of a concern to me. It's a 3/4 ton truck. You know, it's meant to handle a lot of weight. So if I knock a little bit of that away from me adding to it, so be it. I just want it to be a stronger, stout machine. So I think on here what we're going to end up going with is probably 1/8 inch plate. And if I can get, this surface is a little over 5 feet wide. I think it's like 5'5" by a little under 9 feet long. I think it's like 2 inches shy of 9 feet. So if I can get a 5 by 10 sheet, I gotta think about that. Anyway, I'll make it a one solid deck on top out of 1/8 inch, and I'll rebuild what's underneath it. I'll show you that in a minute. Needs a lot of love, a lot of love, a lot of love. Alright, you can see that, I'll show you the top first. That's where you're looking, that's the bottom section of that. You can kind of see they run 2 big girders to the back, and just to transfer the completes the box from folding in half. You know, you got to have some kind of upper structure, unless the bottom is really, really heavy duty. You can see, you know, most of the outer skins look okay. But you know, the floor is totally gone. All the pieces underneath are gone. Even if you look up at these, you know, you may say, okay, they look halfway decent. But then where they, right there, you kind of see where it's all gone. So I may just like cut some of that out and, you know, hammer the rust away so I can lay a flat sheet over it, and then I can run another one right next to it. You know, I may do something like that and split the span so it's not as far, or you just may just cut all that stuff right out of there. It all depends. But my opinion is, I really don't care. I don't care if it has to, it doesn't have to look like that when I'm done. I don't need that profile of a channel. I can get some square box tubing. You know, if I'm able to go down there and I can get some, you know, 2x2 or 1x1 or 1x2 or whatever, and in lengths, I'll just use that and run it right across. You know what this looks like? Signpost, you know, where your stop sign sits on. Kind of looks like that profile, don't it? So anyway, I'm going to make it out of whatever I can find. And, you know, I'll store all metal supply by big sheets of metal that I'm going to slice up on a plasma cutter and make all my other stuff, you know. You know, it's just gone. So basically, you're talking about using these 2 rails over and replacing everything on top. And I think pretty much is what we're going to do down below too. Sometimes it's easier just to hack away and just start over again instead of trying to, you know, like we can save half of this thing right here and go patch it back. You know, if I was looking to keep the looks of it as or whatever, as original as possible, yes, but in my opinion, I'm just going to try to find from some 2x2 or whatever, and I'll just come a box right off of there, right over to this, you know, and I'll remake this same thing. If I get some 1x2, or I'll just cut this whole thing right out of there and sister it to the outside skin and make a new structure. Does anybody know of anything? I want to be able to, I don't want to lose the paint on the outside edge. I want it to look like it looks. We'll use this for example right here. So say if I, where this box is gone right here, and I have like a 1x2 piece of steel I'm going to go on, and of course, you know, I'll just cut this lip away and pull it free. But I kind of want to like epoxy it back to it instead of welding it on, because first of all, there's not that much to weld to, and I don't want it to show. You know, I want to start burning all the paint away on the outside of it. So, my opinion is even like a liquid nails of some sort. And keep in mind, I'm going to oil the bejesus out of this thing after it's all done. So I'm going to try and pickle whatever rust is left behind in a barrier of oil, you know, where no oxygen can get to it. And I think it would stop it. But before I do that, I want to like kind of glue it together, you know, on that outside edge. Everything else will be welded up. You know, the frame will be nice and tight. But as far as where the skin is going to reattach to it all around, More Here's underneath. There's your front footwell there. Frame head. Looking at the back of the front bumper right now. And it's still got the front pan on it, which is unheard of. Mostly because every time you had to go replace a cable or do anything, the pan you would have to take down. Of course, nobody ever put the stupid thing back on again. This one still has it. It's holding the mouse nest or rat's nest or whatever in it too. You can see the little hair sticking out of it. I'll show you from the top. And this thing, when it was in the junkyard, was sinking into the mud when they rescued it. Right before I bought it, so that's why you can see all the mud and crap packed around the front beam. There's a horn. The rest of that Flintstone floor. Got a hole through there. Same thing on this side. So I'd have to just cut that right off of there and just build a new box, you know. All the wheel wells and stuff stayed good though, which is nice. You know, that's all the other stuff is kind of squared. I wouldn't say it's easy to replace, but it's a lot easier to replace than curved, round, molded stuff, you know. All the rails on the main rail seem good. See all those holes? Look at all those holes just leaking right down everywhere. This corner was smashed in real bad. I pulled it back out just to give it some kind of semblance, and so I could shove the battery in the hole it's supposed to be in. Lots of work, ain't it? But in my opinion, I think this one merits it just because of the artwork that's on it, you know. You can't reproduce that. You know, even if you do, it's not real, you know. This is the real thing. This is from when it was done back in the day, what it was used for in its whole life, so I don't know. It's like it has a soul more than other ones. And just, you know, just the way all the metal paint goes to rust. I just think it looks great. Yeah, the paint running off the side of it, running down the side. To the back tailgate. So. See the bow in this gate. You figure this one would have more of the damage because the driver always getting in and out of that door. He probably throws the stuff in from this side all the time. You know, probably flips this side down. It's real common. You would load it up and hop in and drive and get in and get out. You're not going to run around on the other side all the time. So this one's straighter, but it's got more of the crap from loading it in and out. Up above. All that stuff looks pretty good. Of course, the floor's all gone. Here's where the master cylinder, the cover is. That's your top of your master cylinder. That's hiding the nose underneath that stuff. I'm not even worried about that stuff right now. My main concern is just getting metal underneath it and getting the box strong again. That's what I'm focused on right now. That I want to go register it too, just in case there's anything funky with the information that's on it. You know, I don't want it to go through all that. Say, you got a stolen car. Check this out. Found an artifact. Brookhaven Lumber Company. I can't read it through the camera. The Home Builders Shopping Center. telephone EX7 7509 349 East Brooks Road, Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know where the Yorks comes into that play. So found that while cleaning it out, and this was underneath the treasure chest. This square, and it'd be really cool if the name is on it. It does have something kind of written right in the center of that right there. Instruction. I haven't cleaned it up yet, so I can't tell. You know, it'd be really cool if it said the lumber company yard on it, like it was a free maybe advertisement or something. Also, that'd be great. So crusty though, I don't know. So, it's that guy. I showed a half a metal on this thing yet. So, of course, I'm going to order a couple of sheets, you know, for this and just for making all different rails and panels and whatnot out of. I'll probably order a couple of sheets of 1/8 inch, a couple of sheets of 16 gauge. I'm thinking it'd be good to make like a lot of this stuff out of, you know, and go from there. We'll see. I have this gate, which I don't even recall where it came from. Probably a swap meet. I'm going to chop up for some of the pieces that are missing on the gates, so these all have the right profile and everything. And see, like over there, it's all blown out, you know. So I could steal the pieces for there, repair that frame. Again, I think all the way around, I'm going to end up replacing the bottom. It's just some kind of square tubing. But I can steal this for whatever I need. I have on the other side, this was some stuff that was stored in it too. This is bay window stuff though. And there's a 70 Westie out back. Again, it's waiting its turn in life, but I gather parts as I see them cheap. Here's a couple of pans for the front. Here's one here. There's one still wrapped up. This is for the front floor. There's a 12-volt wiper setup. I don't know if this is for this vehicle or not. I don't even know why I have this, but it might be. So maybe I thought I was going to steal it, cut it up, and make a wiper setup. Here's the two wiper arms I picked up at a swap meet. They're the correct ones for it. They're missing. Here's a light. Some more treasure chest latches. These are the latches that lock the gates up and down. Some of the outriggers. I have a feeling what I'm going to do though, I'm probably not going to go with this setup. I'm probably just going to get some, you know, 2x2 or whatever I can find tubing, and I'll just make my own going right across and frame it out with that stuff instead of trying to make it look like a VW with all the correct angles and how they put it together. So, front light. There's looking into that pan. There's more of that mouse nest underneath. More nesties. You know how I love mice. It does look like that same motor, doesn't it? Yeah. I like the way the windows look, but I gotta definitely replace those seals. Actually, I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks now with the rubber on it, but the problem is I'm going to use this thing as we got in the weather. Water just gets in behind these. It just dumps on the inside and blows everything out. So that has to get watertight. So I'm going to pop those out of there. I want to keep the same glass. It's got some character to it. You can see it's got like bubbles in it, and it's got a crack that going up and around. It's been there forever. Even the crack's got bubbles in it. You see that? And here's a couple of bullet shot mark rocks, you know, that have hit it in the past. The driver's side one looks pretty good, so you know, that's one that's really important for me. As long as they get a sticker with it, I don't think they'll bust my balls for that. And again, at some point, redo all the seal windows. I like the way the you hear the rest. That mirror looks on there. Yeah, just again. Reproducive, but it's not. This is all the real stuff, so I want to try to keep as much of that look as possible. The roof is all scaly, rusty, but I think I want to keep it that way. My camera's blinking, tell me I'm getting low. I got 3 minutes left. Gotta wrap it up. But All right, now it's got my train of thought totally gone. So that's it. Here's some exhaust. Here's an exhaust system down below. Give it a little bit throaty sound. Probably have to cut the muffler off and reposition it. I'm not sure what it's off of, but I'll still be able to keep my heater boxes and have some heat in this thing. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. Kind of just give you a walk around, see what I got, and we'll go from there. See what kind of metal I order. Take care. Bye.